Welcome to the Shanghai International Circuit for today's practice session. The time is just before 10 in the morning and we should soon be seeing the first cars leaving the garages. This is a popular location for many of the teams. The circuit is extremely demanding for both the drivers and the cars, and that makes it a very exciting place to race.
It's certainly a track that's liked by the drivers, providing a good set of challenges when racing. It has two long straights that allow for great overtaking opportunities and a very complex 360-degree right-hand corner combination just after the start-finish line. It's a circuit that really has a bit of everything.
Shanghai has produced some very memorable races in the past, in particular the 2007 championship battle, where many would say Lewis Hamilton lost the championship right here.
Well, he stayed out too long on a set of worn tyres and then got stuck in the gravel trap when he came into the pits. It was surely one of the most pivotal races that season, and one that will be remembered for a long time to come.
Hello and welcome back to my 2014 season with Kvyat in the Toro Rosso. It's been a while and I have got reasons for that. Check out the link in the description to find out why I haven't posted for a while. But we're back here, we're back in China. We had a fantastic race in Bahrain last time out. I think we got 7th. Not too sure, but I'm pretty sure we got 7th after coming back from about 16th after a couple of first lap incidents. China is one of those tracks, before in the last couple of games I haven't really liked it, I've never managed to do well here, but first time using a wheel here, so let's see how we get on. Nothing really happened in practice apart from this. So coming down to end sector 1, coming down to this hairpin, which is a tricky hairpin, getting onto the throttle. Brake into it okay, lock up a little bit. We just go a little bit wide, put down the throttle too early and lose the back end. And as we go to rejoin the track, we just get disqualified for going the wrong way apparently. Even though that was the only way I could have gone. Which, as you can see, going around the hairpin, losing the back end now, doing a full 180 on myself, and as I try and rejoin onto that little slip road there, it just disqualifies me. So that was all that really happened in practice.
Lewis Hamilton has recorded the fastest time of the day in today's practice session. The British driver will be mightily pleased with just how well his car performed. It's Saturday afternoon here in Shanghai as the cars are preparing to go out on track to begin qualifying for the Chinese Grand Prix. Ferrari and McLaren have enjoyed lots of success here in Shanghai, Ferrari having won 4 times and McLaren 3 times, and that's quite a success rate considering the first race was only back in 2004.
Well, going off past history, I would expect Fernando and Lewis to do well, having both won here multiple times before. You have to imagine they'll be in the mix at least for a podium finish.
So here we go, one shot qualifying on the Chinese Grand Prix. We're sort of aiming for around 10th, 11th place. I think that's our race objective. So if we get there, that'll be a fantastic result in qualifying and a good place to start the race. So here we go, one shot qualifying. Where can we come? Let's have a look. So starting, opening the lap now, running down into the first corner. Obviously the Williams are always, looks they're good in straight line. Going into the first corner, up into P1 at the moment, running it a bit wide, but still in P1, carrying the speed through the first corner. As we go through the first part, very well done, into P2 at the moment, back into P1, which is pretty surprising, but there we go, the teams with much better straight line speed and better downforce overtaking us now, down into P9 at the moment, going down into the corner where I got disqualified, hopefully make it clean this time. Yep, that all looks good. Bit late on the throttle maybe, but going down to these corners, which I feel I'm really good at, and I can really catch up to the AI around these corners. As you can see, I'm gaining positions into the next couple of corners, running a little bit wide, could have got a little cleaner through there, locking up a tiny bit into this corner and riding the curve a bit too much. Through there was good, maybe running a little bit wide onto the curve, that up into P10 at the moment, so that's a good place for us. Locking up into this corner and drifting it round the corner a bit. Losing the back end there, that's going to lose some positions if we run wide, so that was not a clean corner on this one-shot qualifying lap. At P10 at the moment, down onto the longest straight in the F1 calendar, I'm pretty sure that is correct, unless Mexico's straight is longer, but that's next year anyway. So we go running down into the hairpin, which I'm pretty, well, I'm not very good at this hairpin, but I make it around there, alright, that's not too bad. Bit late on the throttle again, but still in P10, down to P11. Going around the last corner now as we go, stay in P11, up to P10. Can we get P10? No, we get P11 just as we cross the line. Someone must have just beaten us by a fraction of a second. Let's have a look at the results.
It's been a mighty qualifying performance from Mercedes today, with both cars on the front row for the race tomorrow.
They've really worked hard this weekend, and it seems they've been able to set up the cars perfectly today. Whether this will translate into race pace tomorrow, well, we'll just have to wait and see.
So there we go, P11 in qualifying. Nico Hulkenberg beating us by 36 thousandths of a second. Oh, that's hard to take. Losing out on 10th by that much is, you know, takes the piss kind of, but not too bad. 11th, we'd still get a race objective, hoping to capitalise from that position in the race. Lewis Hamilton gets first, Nico Rosberg second, Valtteri Bottas completes the top 3 from qualifying. So that would do it for qualifying, and let's get straight into the Chinese Grand Prix. Here we go.
It's nearly 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon here in Shanghai, and that means only one thing. It's time for the Chinese Grand Prix. It was a blistering lap time from Lewis Hamilton in qualifying yesterday. If he gets a clean start away from the grid today, he might be untouchable.
It's certainly better for a driver to be out in front, as they're able to drive without having to contend with the dirty air and overheating caused by being sat behind another car.
Looking beyond the front couple of rows, who else do you think is on for a good race today?
I thought Felipe Massa's long-run pace in practice looked strong, and he also had good single-lap performance in qualifying yesterday. I'm sure he'll be wanting to convert that into points today.
So here we go, the Chinese Grand Prix, starting from P11, looking at the race strategy. We're going to go for the options, pitting on lap 6 or 7. Here we go for the start.
Okay, let's aim to get 8th or better.
5 red lights, and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix, and it's a very bad start there. Losing a position to Sergio Perez. Magnussen's right behind us. We're going to go round the outside of the first corner, getting Sergio Perez there. And can we get Nico Hulkenberg? Yes, at the moment we can, but he's got the inside line for this corner, right behind Kimi Räikkönen, as we now get the inside for the next corner. And that should get us P10 on Nico Hulkenberg. Yes, so we've gained a position into the first corner, which is absolutely fantastic. Going down into the hairpin now. Right behind Kimi Räikkönen. Can we make any positions? No, we can't, not at the moment. Going through this S section. We've got Jean-Eric Vergne right behind us at the moment now. Now Nico Hulkenberg. Nico Hulkenberg's just overtaken Jean-Eric Vergne. We aren't really catching up to the front runners at the moment, but we're staying ahead of the sort of midfield teams, which is where we want to be. We want to be just scraping through in the points. As we skip ahead now to lap 2 on the long straight, we've got Nico Hulkenberg right behind us. Going into the hairpin now. Not bad through there. Can we get a good exit though? Yes, not too bad, but Nico Hulkenberg has on us. He's going to sit behind from this last corner. Will he get a good run? I think he's probably got a better run than us out of that corner. As he's going round the outside. Doing the switchback, went to the inside, then went to the outside, as we're going to get the inside line. Oh, we bang wheels just a little bit, and we managed to make it through just on the inside, but will he come back at us on the inside? No, we've managed to cover that off, cover off the next corner, bit of a lock up there, and I think that cemented P10 for us for the moment.
If the situation changes, we'll let you know.
As we skip ahead now to lap 5, coming down the long straight once again. Going into the hairpin. Under braking, not bad. Maybe cut the corner just a little bit there. As we lose the back end onto the grass, that's going to lose its position to Nico Hulkenberg. And also to Jean-Eric Vergne. Can we go around the outside of Vergne? No, we can't. We're going to follow behind him. As we get DRS, can we get him into the first corner? Thank you, engineer. We know Jean-Eric Vergne is directly ahead. We can see that as we're going to go around the outside. Oh, maybe took it a bit too wide there. We may have had him, but we took it a bit too wide. We're going to cut back, hit the apex. We managed to catch up a little bit there, a little bit of time. And we're right behind him all. Just have to squeeze on the brakes a little bit, just because Jean-Eric Vergne's going too slow for us around that corner. There was no way to get past him. As we're going into this hairpin now. following Verne and then Hulkenberg. As we lock up a bit, so that's going to compromise our exit, which means Johnny Verne's going to get a better run out of that corner than we will. As we're now going round the S's section, can we make it round the outside? No, yes, there we go. We've got it round the outside of Johnny Verne. As we went a little bit wide, so Verne is going to be on our outside. Yes, there he is. Can we keep the inside line? We do at the moment. He's still there on our outside, and there we go. We've got P10 back. So can we get Nico Hulkenberg for P9? Because Lewis Hamilton pitted earlier. He pitted on about lap 4. Must have been an incident early on with somebody. So following Nico Hulkenberg, we will be going in the pits this lap. If Nico Hulkenberg doesn't go in the pits, then we could perform the undercut on him, but I believe he's ahead of Sergio Perez, which means he will get first choice of the pit stop. As we get DRS on him, and will Johnny Verne go for an overtake on us now? Yeah, there he is, up our inside, but he backs out of it. And there we go, round the hairpin following Nico Hulkenberg. We lose the back end just a little bit, but not as much. Oh, as we fight the wheel there. There we go, break into the pits as we lock up massively. Use all the grip on the tyres for that last lap that we were going to use them for. As we head into the pits now, we need a good pit stop to jump Nico Hulkenberg at the moment. What sort of pit stop time could we get? There's Kimi Raikkonen. He was actually held up by Fernando Alonso. They pitted at the same lap, so that was bad. We need a Sauber to come in to hold up Nico Hulkenberg. What sort of pit stop is this going to be? It's a 3.0. That's not that good, but it's not too bad either. As Hulkenberg managed to jump Kimi Raikkonen, and we are right behind both of them now. Now, can we get both of them? Because their cars are going to be cold. Ours are going to be cold as well. As Max Chilton gets in the mix. Oh, and he's fighting Hulkenberg. He pushes Hulkenberg wide, which is going to really help us as we get squeezed by Hulkenberg, but we just make it through. We just make it through, so that means we've jumped them both out of the pits. That's absolutely brilliant. Brilliant move around both of them. And now we're going to be chasing Max Chilton, although he will still have to make a pit stop. So if we overtake him, or if we don't, it doesn't really matter because he'll be pitched the next lap anyway. Going round the hairpin, following Max Chilton. Can we maybe get him into this next corner? We're a bit too far behind to make a move like we did on Johnny Verne a couple of laps ago. Yeah, we're just too far behind. We're not going to make anything there, but we have caught up through that SS section, and I believe we've caught up through here as well. We're right on his tail. So here we go now into this. We want to get DRS off him as we take a nice line through there, and another nice line through there. Although we do get a bit on the grass, which compromises our exit, and Max Chilton just sort of backs out of it. He sees there's no point fighting because he's pitting this lap, so he doesn't bother fighting us. And that is P16 for us. Now we're going down the longest straight in F1. Coming down to the hairpin. Who's going to be pitting on this lap? Where can we come after all the pit stops and all the drivers have shuffled back into their positions? McLaren preparing for a pit stop. That's got to be Kevin Magnussen coming in. As we hit the bollard, that's stuck on us now. Just trying to weave it to get it off. I'm not sure if it actually does slow you down, but there we go, it disappears now. So there we go, moving up 13th, 12th, 11th, and there's John Verne, and we're going to get him around the outside. Oh, we're very close, yes we do. We're back into P10, we get him around the outside, back into P10. As we go into the second corner, we've still got John Verne right behind us. And there we go, P10 for us. They've dropped back quite a bit because they must have cold tyres. As we skip ahead now to lap 8. As that is someone in the pits, I think. Yeah, it's Roman Grosjean. Roman Grosjean pits, he must be pitting. He must have been on the medium tyres and now going on to the soft tyres. As we're chasing the pack with Hamilton just ahead of us, so it's going to be quite tough for him to win this race now. As he's running in P8 at the moment after making an early pit stop. I don't know if he had a crash or anything. Running a bit wide there. Skipping ahead now to lap 13, so 2 laps before the end. There must be a collision up ahead. I think that's a McLaren and a Williams just ahead of us. We go around the hairpin. Yes, it's Massa and Button. Massa's got a problem, Button hasn't. He's just been held up by Massa for a while. So that puts us up into P8. Can we get Button into the next couple of laps? We have closed up on him into the S's section. Can we close up here? It's pretty even, I'd say, through there. But then he has shot off on the exit. Can we make a good line out of here like we did on Max Chilton? A bit, but we cut the corner a little bit. He's got a much better exit out of that corner than we have at the moment. So we will get DRS on him. We were close enough to get DRS, but I think we're just too far back to make a move into the hairpin, which is a corner I struggle on anyway. So making a move there would be very brave. As we brake early, just to sort of get a good line, we're in rich mix and we lock up a bit. So there we go. Look, we've lost the back end. That's going to mean Nico Hulkenberg's going to be right on our tail. Is he going to make a move? There we go, fighting the wheel still. Is he going to move up the inside? No, he's not. He's going to sit back for now. So this is it. Last lap. We've got to absolutely fight Nico Hulkenberg to the end if we want to keep P8, which is our objective. As he goes for a move on the inside. We brake later than him. We make it round the outside, but he's still there. He's still on our inside. We've got to be aware of that. We don't want to move in because that would take both of us out. And we'll lose positions because Kimi Raikkonen's not far behind us either. Oh, he makes a move up the outside again, but there we go. Up into P8 again. Good defending there. But he's still right on our tail. We've got to defend right to the death. Here we go, round the hairpin. Keeping him behind us. We want a good exit here. We don't want to spin up the wheels, which we don't. He's not far enough. He's not close enough behind us, sorry, to make a move at the moment. So he's just going to sit back and we're just going to get a little bit of a gap on him through here. As we go into the double left-hander now. Running it maybe a bit wide. We didn't hit the apex there, which was what we need to do. We need to hit every single apex. We need a perfect lap here. We need like a qualifying lap here to keep Nico Hulkenberg behind us. The tyres aren't looking too bad and the temperature looks fine. As we're going around the last snail corner.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
So there's a yellow flag ahead of us. That means, could we get P7? Is that someone else that's crashed out? Could we get P7? Is it Jensen Button? No, it's Felipe Massa. Oh, that was so close between Massa and Nico Hulkenberg there. Oh, that could have been a disaster for Nico Hulkenberg. It could have been brilliant for us because it means that he wouldn't be right behind us. And we've gone wide there, so it means Nico Hulkenberg's going to go up the inside. Yes, he does. Can we get him into the last corner? We need it. We need that P8. Can we get him? No, we can't. We lock up a bit, unfortunately. And I think that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be P9 for us.
This is the last kilo or so of fuel.
Lewis Hamilton wins the race after Nico Rosberg finished first, so I don't know what happened there. Let's have a look at the results.
No doubt about the driver of the day today. It's Lewis Hamilton, whose Mercedes was just too strong for the opposition. It's another win for the British driver.
Yes, definitely. It was a brilliant race, and one that you can tell the fans really enjoyed.
There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So there we go. Somehow, Lewis Hamilton wins the race. I think it was mainly because Nico Rosberg got 2 10-second time penalties, I believe. So I think Nico Rosberg did actually cross the line first, but because of the penalties, Lewis Hamilton wins. But still, he was 8th position on like lap, I don't know, 9 I think it was, lap 9 or 10. He was in 8th position, so to get from 8th to 1st is absolutely brilliant. We come 9th. Unfortunately, those penalties didn't help us out. John Verne was a bit behind us. We are now 4 points behind John Verne, and that will do for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more F1 content, and have a nice day. Goodbye.